animals are dying, and the crops aren't growing. We all gotta work. We all gotta work a little harder. All gotta think. We all gotta think a little wiser. Work. We all gotta work.
Hello, we're here with Maurice Ben Rose, my dad, who's been painting for a number of years. So when did you start painting?
Oh gosh, 25 years ago, if not more, yeah. And painting and drawing bits and pieces. But I haven't been doing much sculpture. I started sculpting about maybe 10, 15 years ago.
So you started out with painting?
Yes.
And did you do some art school or?
Well, I was only art school for 1 year, really. I haven't had much tuition. It's all what I've learnt and been able to do. I did some wood carving, and then for some reason I got it into my head I'd like to do metal sculptures, for God's sake.
But I understand that when you started out, this is back in the 60s.
Yes.
Right? So you started out painting, and you did some courses at one college?
Well, I went to evening classes and things like that, did drawing and painting.
Webb?
No, it was the art school in Holborn. It was a Central School of Arts and Crafts, and I went there and did figure drawing, which I loved, and I did some painting in the evenings. That was all, but no really proper tuition at all. It was something I felt I could do. Basically, was draw and paint.
So you continued painting through the 60s, and then how were you selling or trying to sell your work?
I never had much. I mean, I'm not into selling. I can't sell my pictures at all. I just wanted to paint. That was all.
I do remember once you had you were selling pictures at Queensway.
Yes, that's right. I used to hang them on the railings. That's quite right. Yeah. I used to sell them, I did that. Yeah.
So I imagine that was like maybe a year or so in Queensway every Saturday afternoon.
Sunday, it was on the
every Sunday afternoon for a year.
Never made a fortune, never made any money.
Right, but you sold a number of
pieces. At ridiculously low prices.
Well, obviously, definitely.
Because I'm not a dealer, I can't handle this, that side.
Right. So, but you also used to make other arts and crafts like the necklaces out of silver, and also one or two pieces of woodwork. I remember some fruit bowls.
Oh yes, I carved the ones.
There was, some carving.
I used to sell them. I used to sell them at Heels. And they're just sort of planks of wood with bits, hollows cut out, but it was really rough, but it was quite arty, crafty, and they liked that.
Yeah.
But I never made a fortune, ever.
Yeah, so at one point you were in Wales painting landscapes in Wales.
Yeah, so I was there for about 6 months, in the coldest time of the year. I think it's never been so cold. It was a record year. And the snow in London, the water was turned off. You couldn't get the water or anything. I was up in Wales.
You did painting all around
I painted
Wales and so on.
All the
and then So then moving on to the 70s, you were continuing to paint, but you were teaching at school.
I got a teaching certificate, so I was teaching infant juniors. But in the meantime, I was painting and drawing too. Yeah, but I've always been fiddling with my hands, doing this or doing that, and I progressed. I painted, and then I started to do little wood carvings. And hey presto, I suddenly had this idea I'd like to do metal sculptures. Not little sculptures, but big, full-size sculptures.
So this is after having spent most of your time painting landscapes, doing
portraits,
nudes, lots of nudes.
Yeah, so it's like figure painting,
Figure painting.
Throughout
the 70s,
a
little bit into the 80s too, and then racing up to today. Then you had you did the welding course. What year was that?
Oh gosh, quite a long time ago actually. I suppose about 10 years ago. I think it's about 10 years. It's a long time.
About 2010 or 2008 or something.
Yeah, about 2008, I think. Yeah.
That's when you did your welding course.
Yeah. Well, I wanted to do something metal, but I couldn't do anything with metal unless I knew how to stick it together. In other words, weld it. So I did a welding course. Nothing pretty. I got no certificates whatsoever. I just wanted to be able to stick these bits of metal together, and build something, a sculpture, a creature, I did a puma, a life-size puma, a seal, all little plates stuck together, welded together.
Is it true that you have an unsigned painting hanging in the Tate?
Not in the Tate. No, it's in the Victorian Albert Museum.
Victorian Albert Museum.
Oh yeah.
So you remember doing that painting and...
Not really, but it's.
No.
I'll tell you when it was. It was when I was worked in the Adventure Playgrounds, and it was the first time they had the Adventure Playgrounds in England, and I painted one of the structures, and they kept it because it was of historical value. It was the first time someone actually painted a picture of what an Adventure Playground looked like, and I never realised. I must have given the painting to someone, and a friend of mine was looking up the internet. He said, "You're on the internet." And there was this painting that I painted at the Adventure Playground. Incredible.
The other interesting thing is that there was a documentary about you done by a Path film, which I haven't even seen.
Path and Hughes.
Yeah, Path and
Yeah,
Hughes.
that's right. Because
So tell us about that documentary.
well, you know, I used to bum around a lot. I took all sorts of funny jobs. I was a dustman, and that was when I was a dustman. I was still painting and that, and I had a one-man exhibition when I was a dustman. And somehow that...
Where was your one-man exhibition?
I was somewhere in Hampstead, which
You
is
don't remember
Camden. No, I
the
can't
gallery?
remember. No, I can't remember at
But you
all.
remember the year.
Yeah.
So I can look that
But
up
the,
and find that at some point.
Path and Hughes got hold of the idea and thought it was rather novel, having a dustman who's got a one-man show. So they followed the dust cart round with me lifting the bins, and then they panned into this bloody one-man exhibition, and that was a short little piece. I didn't realise it was still in existence.
Well, I'm going to have to look that up on YouTube and check out the dust painting.
Blimey. But, wow. Yeah. I mean, if I was a businessman, I might have made some money out of my paintings, but I made no money at all. I didn't care about money because it was the 60s and that round about that time. You didn't worry so much about it.
You started out not signing your work.
That's right. I just painted the bloody thing, stuck them in the corner, the canvases, and went on to the next thing. I was such an idiot. I don't know. I just, oh dear.
Well, things happen. Life goes on.
Oh dear. Yeah.
So, what attracts you to paint the female form over and over again?
Oh well, I just love it. I love painting women. I've got no interest in men. I just love the curvaceousness of a woman, and I've always been interested in figure painting, but women. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And you went through a phase of, well, I mean, you've always been doing landscapes.
Yes.
Because you did Hampstead Heath, several ones of Hampstead Heath.
And portraits. I did a lot of portraits.
And then there was Camden Lock. You
That's
did
right.
about 4 or 5 paintings of Camden Lock.
That's right. Yeah.
And then some portraits as well, which I remember were really good. I wish we knew where they were. And one day we'll find some of those.
Well, I used to paint tramps. I'd see a tramp in the street, and I'd bring him back home, sit him in the garden, give him coffee and sandwiches, and paint a portrait of him, and then drop him back in the park or something.
That was the painting that you were telling me about, the one that you really liked.
Oh dear. Yeah, I can't paint to order. If I see something and it interests me, then I'll paint it. But I can't paint a picture from a photograph or anything at all. If something turns me on and excites me.
You didn't really do any commissions or stuff like that?
No. I used to paint kids, children that used to come in and play with my kids. And I used to paint them. I would sit them down on a chair or something, and I'd just paint them. But, and they didn't sit as a normal sitter would. You can't, the kids fidgeting about. But I painted them, I loved it. And,
so, tell me about your process in that. You'll sit down with the oils and mostly a piece of wood or a board, rather.
Canvas,
canvas.
yeah. I don't know. I can't describe it. And when I'm painting. I can't. It's funny. It's just, I don't know. You just paint. You can't think of anything else. And you're seeing a colour. You're seeing a shape. You're doing that, and it's just happening all the time.
So it's like a flow of consciousness.
Absolutely. Something just flows out of me. I mean, not to say that every picture I did was wonderful. Not at all. I mean, 9 out of 10 were failures, but the old 1 or 2 were good, really good, I think. Yeah.
And so, but also there's the aspect there where you like to work at it until you're finished.
Yeah.
And then walk away without going back to apply second edits.
No, a lot of paintings that I did are like very quick. I paint very quickly when I'm inspired and the painting takes me. And sometimes I will leave it. Sometimes it's almost like an oil sketch. But I find if I work too much on it, I destroy it. It's like an impressionistic sort of painting. But I paint very, very fast. I can't explain it. No, I can't explain it. The creative process, I don't know. I can't analyse
I
it.
understand it's sort of like a mad hour or a mad 2 hours.
Yeah.
You stay with it and
that's it.
With as much focus as you can, and then walk away.
That's right. That's right.
Which I relate to that kind of way of working.
I can't. Yeah.
So you've been telling us about these animal sculptures that you've made, 18, 19, or 20 pieces?
Yes.
Or more?
About 20 pieces, yeah.
Generally weighing about, I've discovered, between 30 and 55, 60 pounds.
Yeah, they're quite heavy.
Quite heavy, but it's still hollow, though, because cast iron, solid cast iron.
Yeah. And they're life size,
They're 3/4 size.
3/4 size. They're big anyway.
Yeah, quite big.
But
and now you're in the process of going back to the rusted sculptures and putting a finishing slate resin on top of that.
That's right. Yeah.
And filling in areas where
because
water could get in and rust away.
That's right. Because I didn't know what to do with them. I wanted to have a big exhibition, but I did have a little exhibition of them. And then we didn't know what to do with the sculptures, so we took the sculptures and we put them in the garden. And they remained in the garden for about 15 odd years or something. And suddenly we realised that things were starting to rot away. It was all the metal was rotting away. It was what do you say? Rusting away.
Yeah, well, it will. It's iron.
I know, and then my wife.
Which is why I was always saying, why don't you do like
absolutely,
some
absolutely,
some
so
copper oxide finish.
Yeah.
Like.
So then I was faced with the problem of filling in all the bits that have rusted away.
Which you're in the process of now.
That's right.
I saw you earlier
filling
with
in
the grinder.
That's it.
Grinding off the extra resin.
Yeah, filling it in with resin and God knows what. And
slate dust.
Yeah,
right.
That's right.
Which a number, you worked before with the slate dust.
That's right.
Poly resins.
Yeah. You mix the resin with the slate dust.
Right.
And it's like a sort of gooey mess. Then you put so many drops in called a hardener, and that hardens it. Yeah. And you put it on. Wow.
Well,
dear oh dear.
I wish you well in the finishing up of the finishing.
Well, they're not pretty sculptures, but I think they've got something more. I think they're, the essence of the creature. Let's put it that way.
Right.
I think so. That's what I'd go for. Well, it's not anatomically sometimes right, but it's got a feel to it. How I feel it, The puma's full of power and menace, because that's what they are. They're carnivores, for Christ's sake. And that, I hope I've got that feeling, the power in that.
I think you have. Well, all right, thank you, Maurice Ben Rose.
That's okay.
That's a pleasure. And
okay.
we'll see what happens next.
Yeah,
so
you can.
I'll be cutting.
Yeah, you've probably got plenty of stuff to cut away and things. It should be okay.
Do I have enough B-roll to lay over the top? ashes in Queen's Park, behind in loving memory of Judith, 1951 to 2005. A wonderful life. And he had a wonderful life, so why not? And we drink just a little bit of speed on the way. Cheers.
comme des remords qui se traînent de longs vers, qui s'acharnent toujours sur mes morts les plus chers. Je suis un vieux boudoir plein de fosses, plein de roses fanées, où gît un fouillis de mode surannée.
I know. There's the word boudoir, and then there's the word boudoir when Delphine says it. A potter's field where always, like remorse, a host of worms is gnawing on the flesh I love the most. I am an old boudoir, perfumed with withered roses.